And welcome to X and Y Gaming, casually competitive. And in today's video I bring you a deck profile, and much like the Dark Magician deck before it, this deck too is on sale right now. Link is in the description. $50, take it or leave it. There you go. And what even deck is this? This is actually one of my more favorite decks to play, the Dinosaurs deck, because it is surprisingly strong. I say surprisingly because it's fucking dinosaurs. Fucking dinosaurs. Alright. You know, back in the day, dinosaurs were never really that good, but my god, this deck came out and just... oh, it's disgusting. So first off, right here, right off the top, miscellaneous source. I would run 3, but you can only do 1. He's limited. So there's 1. There's also 2... Megalith Smasher X. I found 3 to be a little too cloggy. I mean, yeah, he's a 2K beat stick, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to want something that actually does something. And for the Megalith Smashers, there's the 1 Rescue Rabbit. If you draw into these, obviously you can't get him off, and then he becomes a dead draw. But in the instances that these are in the deck and you draw him, it's a great 1-for-1 trade to +1 into an extra Megalith Smasher. And then go into an extra deck play. But, we'll get to that. And then so, for more of the 3 ofs, there are 3 Soul-Eating Oviraptors, the absolute key playmaker in the deck. He hits the field, you get a search, and you can either take a dinosaur from your deck, add it to your hand, or send it to the graveyard. Not to mention, you can also pop a dinosaur on the field, replace it with one from your graveyard, and you will usually do with Baby Ceratosaurus, as there's 3 of them, or a Petite Pteranodon, as there's 3 of them. Soul-Eating Oviraptor, you pop one of these bad boys here, you get to essentially replace it. Now, obviously, you have to have one in the graveyard already. Alright, they're in the graveyard, he's here, you pop him, you replace him with another one in defense position, and then you get the search effect and summon effect off of Baby Ceratosaurus. Or, if you pop Petite Pteranodon, you get it off Petite Pteranodon. Ceratosaurus will get you a 4 lower, and it can attack that turn. And Petite Pteranodon will get you 4 higher, but it can attack. Then there are also 2 Tyranno Infinities, a very beautiful card in this deck. Once more, the boss monster of the deck basically summons himself by banishing 2 dinosaurs from the grave, which Tyranno Infinity, by the time he comes out, he's going to be anywhere between 2 to 6,000. Absolutely gorgeous. 2 more 2-ofs is the Direct Tyrannus. And this is basically just in there as a decent target for the Petite Pteranodon. 2,500 is not too terribly bad. And if you're done with the Pteranodon or Baby Ceratosaurus, you can always pop it to get an extra 500 attack. And then the 3 of, last but not least for the monsters, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And oh my god, I have such a love-hate relationship for this thing. First of all, I run into the issue of always calling it a dragon, because it is just so goddamn awesome. 3,500 attack, pretty much it's going to run over everything. And on top of that, it can destroy a monster from your hand or the field, and then turn everything on your opponent's monsters to face down. Not to mention, it can then swing at them all one at a time. And it's really gross, it's really disgusting, it's really badass, and I fucking love it. And then we're going to move on to the spell cards. So you've got 3 reinforcements of the Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig is basically a Rhoda, except it doesn't have to be a level 4, it can be 6 or lower. And I think that's pretty helpful, because that's basically everything. Then more 3-ofs, you have a Lost World. Pretty okay. This makes everything that's not a dinosaur lose 500 attack and defense, and when you do summon a dinosaur monster, you can give your opponent a token, which you might think, well, that's pretty fucking stupid. Why would you want to give your opponent anything? Because it's all the more things you can run over and make stupid shit happen. Not to mention, if a normal dinosaur monster, including a token, would be destroyed, you can destroy one from your deck instead. Usually a Baby Ceratosaurus or a Petite Pteranodon, just so you can get their search off. Very good. And speaking of searching, let's have 2 terraforming. You would run 3, but it's semi-limited, so, what are you going to do? Twin Twisters. Look at those twins. That is a quad twister if I've ever seen it. Sack you one of, you got a dark hole to clear the field. which is also good because you can go ahead and summon either Petite or Dinosaurs, and then nuke the field turn 2 and get a free monster for it at the same time. Swords of Concealing Light, just in case maybe you don't have the option of getting rid of a monster for the cost. That's okay. You can still turn them face down, and you can still fuck them over. Got a Soul Charge and a Monster Reborn. And then moving on to the traps. 3 Quaking Mirror Force. Obviously, this will not work on Lynx, but my goddamn, when it does work, it works well. And not only does it turn the opponent's attacking monsters face down, but it also locks them into that position so that they can't be turned back face up the next turn. Twin Torrential Tribute. Again, between Petite Pteranodon and Baby Ceratosaurus. It's a nice setup to summon one, even if it's face down, you set it down. Alright, you let your opponent go, they build a dumbass board, the last monster they end on, Torrential Tribute, the whole thing wipes out, and again you get a free monster. Then the last card of the deck is a Heavy Storm Duster. Much like Twin Twister, it takes out 2 spell and trap cards. However, it is a trap card, so it's arguably slower. As a trap card, the benefit is that it does not require a cost to activate, other than you have to set it. And that's pretty okay as a trade-off, I think. Also, you have to skip your battle phase. But, I mean, let's be honest. If you're doing it during your opponent's turn, what does that fucking matter? No one cares. So, there's the main deck. Pretty straightforward. Pretty nice and simple. We'll move on to the extra deck here. Starting with the tokens, which arguably they're not part of the extra deck. But having tokens is great. Unfortunately, there's not 5 drag tokens. But there are Dragon Lords. And again, I call the dinosaur... I call the Big Daddy dinosaur fucking a dragon sometimes. It's a bad habit. I gotta stop. So let's get into the extra deck. What do we got? We got some Lynx. They're pretty basic. They're alright. A Lynx Spider. 2 Nightmare Phoenix. 2 Nightmare Cerberus. Oh, it's whatever. You're not gonna go into the Link plays to open up more extra deck space. Because let's be honest, you don't really need more than 1 extra deck space at the same time. But it's nice to have the options. And blowing up monsters is pretty dope. Then for the Xyz monsters, there's no fusions, no synchros, no rituals. Number 82, Heartland Draco, because attacking directly is pretty damn good. Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, because he's a Riryoku on legs. And then the actual dinosaurs of the business. 3 Evils or Dolkas. These guys are assholes. 2 level 4 dinosaurs make these bad boy dragons. They hit the field, and I will say, unfortunately, if you also have the Lost World on board, they will lose 500 attack and defense, and that is unfortunate. However, when a monster effect activates, you can detach 1 Xyz material from them, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. So, pretty good board control for there. Rounding off with 2 Evils or Logias, which is essentially the same thing, but instead of detaching 1, it requires 2. But it also has the bonus effect of being able to stop not just a special summon monster, but also a spell and trap card in general. And then, last but most definitely not least, the accent burner of the deck, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. Damn, it's a mouthful. 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense, 2 of your boss monsters. Basically, the idea is you swing in for as much damage as you can, and then go into this guy, burn off the last 2,000, GG, no re. And there you have it. Nice, simple, straightforward, and pretty goddamn powerful. Dinosaurs, for sale, $50, buy them before they're extinct.